what's going on, friends? This is Paul Hutchings. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm coming to you live with another episode of The Good Parts, a daily social media show where I go live Monday through Friday, right around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to share one good part from my life and or business in an effort to help you and me and as many people as we can create as much prosperity, freedom, happiness, joy, goodness, abundance in life that we can gather up. That's kind of the intention behind the show. And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you what I call the path to instant riches. And in the process of sharing this lesson, which has been a big lesson for me over the years, and it's a lesson that I seem to want to continue to learn. It's a lesson that I learned when I was a kid, actually. But I keep relearning the lesson. And every time I relearn the lesson, it adds great value to my life. It adds happiness. It adds richness instantly the moment that I apply this lesson. So I want to talk about this. And in the process of talking about this, I want to share a very interesting letter that I got over the weekend. Hey, what's up, Nick? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. Gregory Napier, thanks for tuning in and saying hello. Appreciate you guys being here. And if you guys are watching live, comment below like Greg and Nick did. And if you're watching the replay, please say hello. I'd love to say hi back to you and know who you are and just get to know you a little bit if I can. So this letter that I got over the weekend, got this letter out of the blue from someone that I don't think that I've ever met. Apparently, this person is on my email list, and he took a moment to write me what I'm calling a somewhat mystical letter. And it's mystical for a couple of reasons. 3 reasons, maybe. One of them is that it contains the path to instant riches, which is the title of this live. So as I'm reading this letter, I will highlight that. But also, it's mystical for another couple of reasons. The first reason is that this letter came at a time where I am in the process of doing something that's kind of hard. And I'll explain that maybe a little bit. Well, actually, I'll let you know what it is. Sometimes in life and business, in order for us to maintain our happiness, we have to say goodbye to certain relationships. And I'm kind of in the process of doing that, saying goodbye to certain relationships that are no longer serving me in the way that I want to be served. And how is that? One way I want to be served is illustrated in this letter. I want to be happy as I'm building my business. I don't want drama. I don't want stress. I don't want anyone getting hurt with anything that I'm doing. And so if people come into my sphere of influence and they're causing drama, they're causing stress, and or anyone's getting hurt, I don't care who that person is. I don't care how successful they are. I don't care how successful they can be. I can't have that in my life because I want to be happy. So all of this being said, it's still difficult. It's still difficult, especially if some of these relationships, maybe you've come to love someone, maybe you've come to appreciate someone who all of a sudden, kind of out of the blue, is a source for some of these negative emotions. So I'm going through this. That's the first mystical part. And you'll see when I read the letter. And I'm just going to go ahead and read the letter. So let me go ahead and do that. Hey, Paula Walker, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Bill Fever, thanks for tuning in and saying hello. Okay, so here's the letter. This came over the weekend, as I mentioned, and I'm going to pull this up on the screen. So this comes from a gentleman named David, and here's what David wrote to me. He said, enjoyed this broadcast. That was an email that I wrote, which, by the way, I took a little time on that email, put a little thought into it. I did my best to make it valuable. So he says, enjoyed this broadcast. So glad I found this group. I have so much I want to tell you, but let me just say this. In January, I was laying in my bed in my 4th month of recovering from congestive heart failure. By the way, grammar will be hideous, but I don't care right now. Anywho, I was praying and meditating on what I wanted out of my life for the present new year. So I had 5 cards. I wrote down 5 things. I thought, which one do I really want? So long story short, I have attached a picture of the winner. So let me go ahead and share the picture that this person sent me. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that screen share. And here is the picture that he sent me. Can we do it? There it is. There it is. So here's the cards that he drew: financial freedom and good vibes only. Okay, now remember what I said at the beginning of this live, that I've kind of been going through cutting some people out of my life that were not bringing good vibes. Let me continue to read the letter. He said, I decided to do a Silva method on the cards. I turned them over, closed my eyes. Yes, I'm into the woo-woo stuff. Don't get me started. I like that. I love to leave space for the magical, the mystical, the wondrous, the things that inspire awe. The universe winks where something happens that seems kind of like a miracle, I guess you could say, in one way. In fact, one of my favorite quotes from Einstein is, he said, coincidence is just God's way of remaining anonymous. So sometimes things happen in life and in business where, kind of like this example that I'm sharing, I'm going through this experience in my life where I'm having to cut certain people out because they're not bringing me joy. And it's hard because I love these people, wish the best for them. So it's hard. And then I get this email from this person on my email list that sends me these pictures of what he really wanted. And he did the woo-woo Silva method, where he's closed his eyes, he's praying, he's meditating, and he turns over these cards. And what do they say? They say pretty much the two things that I want for myself and that I want to help other people create: financial freedom and good vibes only. Because you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, if you're not having fun, if you're not enjoying the experience, what good does that money do you? It doesn't do you any good. So it seems like we want both. We want prosperity, we want freedom, we want choice, we want flexibility, and we also want happiness. So as I'm going through this little experience in my life, I get this email. He sends me these pictures. I'm like, yes, that's what I want too. And wow, this is coincidental that I'm going through this thing here. And then I get this email from this person I've never talked to, that I've never met. And he shows me these two pictures. That's just like, wow, is that like a confirmation from some sort of somewhere? I don't know, but I like to leave space for the potential that it could be, God's way of remaining anonymous, giving me this coincidence in my life. What do you guys think? I'm going to go ahead and come back to this email and read the rest of this email, and then we'll get to the path to instant riches. So he says, so long story short, I've attached a picture of the winner, which I've shared with you guys. Back to my congestive heart failure. I just glossed over the whole ordeal, I'm a truck driving network marketer. I spent 5 months out of work, no income coming at all. Thank goodness for Robinhood, Bitcoin, savings, and credit cards. So much to this story, so let me wrap this up. End of January into February, I passed my chest x-ray and stress test. I passed my DOT physical. All of my blood work came back normal. Cherry on top, I managed to drop over 100 pounds. So way to go, David, on that. That is huge. 126 to be exact. So I have a story to tell. Right now, I'm back in a truck running coast to coast, border to border. God is so good. Sorry, I have yet to be an active member, but I like everything I have seen and heard so far. Okay, just got to get some rest. Talk later, Dave. And then he says, you can share this letter if you want. So what is the path to instant riches? Well, as I was reading this letter, hearing about this person's experience with congestive heart failure and literally being in a life or death situation, and then kind of hearing him describe it and get through it, and then say, God is so good. And I'm feeling something in the words that I don't know that he specifically stated out loud, but what I'm feeling in his words is I'm feeling this deep sense of one of the best vibes we can possibly have: gratitude. He's thankful for where he's at in life. He's on the road, he's in a truck, but he's got his health. He got through the congestive heart failure. He lost 126 pounds. He's got a lot going on. Probably, I'm guessing David probably has some things in his life that he could choose to complain about, but instead he's focusing on the good and he's feeling thankful for those things. And I picked that vibe, that good vibe up as I was reading his letter, and I was so thankful for it. So thank you, David, for the good vibes. Thank you for the universe wink for me. And thank you for illustrating through your example what I believe to be is the path to instant riches. What is the path to instant riches? It's gratitude. It's being thankful for the good things in your life, whatever they are. You can be thankful for your challenges. You know, we were talking about this on our mastermind this morning, growrichmastermind.com. If you want to tune in to something amazing that might be able to bless your life and help it move forward for the better. But one of the messages, we were reading The Science of Getting Rich, and it's this message of gratitude. And one of the things Wallace Waddell says in that book is that gratitude, the state of gratitude is the best emotion. It's the emotion that puts us in the closest harmony with what? With the all that is, with the divine, with as he calls it in the book, formless substance, as other people call it, God, as other people call it, the universe, whatever this big power presence that maybe surrounds us, is in us all the time. We want to have harmony with that force. And Wallace Waddell says gratitude is that emotion. I was reading just this morning a little story in the Old Testament, and this isn't a preachy religious master or live. This is just something I read that relates to what we're talking about. And in the story of Moses and the children of Israel, Moses says he's given this mission, free the people. So he goes and he frees the people, and they're in the wilderness. And what happens? The people start to complain. And they literally said, too bad you didn't leave us back there with the Egyptians so we could die there instead of dying out here in hunger. They literally won their freedom. They got free from slavery and terrible turmoil and being beaten, all these horrible things I'm sure that they would have been enduring in that story. They got away from it. And instead of being thankful, they complained and they said, wish you would have left us there. And I wrote in my notes as I was reading that story, complaining is the opposite of gratitude. It's the literal polar opposite of gratitude. And we can complain about anything. We can complain about anything, and or we can choose to be grateful for everything, even our challenges. A simple way to be thankful for your challenges is to just say out loud, I am so thankful for ABC challenge, add the word because, and then list why that challenge might actually be a blessing for you. One of the things that I mentioned in the first part of this live is saying goodbye to certain relationships in my business. And I'm so thankful for this challenge, even though it hurts my heart a little bit to do this, to have to say goodbye. One of the reasons I'm thankful for this challenge is because it's helping me to clarify and practice adherence to the principles that I believe in. It's giving me an opportunity to see the things that I just don't want to tolerate anymore, and to actually make decisions to not have those things in my life. So as hard as this sometimes is, and this particular challenge is for me, I am thankful for it, because that's one of the things it's giving me. It's giving me strength of character to be able to go through this, to do this hard thing, because the benefits on the other side are worth it. And I could list other benefits from this particular challenge, but the point is we can be thankful for our challenges. And so I call gratitude the path to instant riches, because it seems every time I sit down and I express sincere gratitude for all of the things and people and goodness that is in my life, I instantly start to see that there are riches all around me. And I have this emotion of happiness. Last thing I'll say this morning, before I came out to the office, I was thinking about my wonderful wife, Corrine, and we've been married since 2005. So going on almost 2 decades. We've raised 4 kids. My oldest is 17. My youngest is 11. We started our journey together with not much money. You know, I wasn't living in a trailer house. Well, I was actually living in a trailer house at the time. I was living in a double wide trailer house that I grew up in. My wife, Corrine, didn't come from, like a lot of wealth. We came to the marriage with not a lot of money. I was working a job making $11 an hour, driving a old used car. She was a dental assistant. And that's where we started our journey almost 2 decades ago. And this morning I was thinking about all of the good times we've been through and all of the hard times we've been through. And we've had some hard times, just like everybody. Any relationship, any marriage is going to go through hard times. She stood by my side through all of it. And I was thinking about how thankful I am for her commitment and her loyalty and her dedication and her love and her service and her patience. And I was thinking about how, truly she's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And so I went in, she's still sleeping, and I pulled out a sheet of paper and I wrote a note. Dear Corrine, I just wanted to take an opportunity to tell you how thankful I am for you. And I wrote a page of my gratitude for her, how valuable it is to me to have someone by my side who I know is going to be there when times are good and who I know is going to be there when times are bad. It just meant so much to me to feel those feelings. And so I wrote them all out. I folded up the note and I set it on the nightstand, and I left that for her. And regardless of what effect the note has on my wife, I will tell you the effect that it had on me is it made me feel so rich, so blessed, so good that I have this relationship that I do sometimes take for granted. I sometimes take my marriage for granted. I sometimes take my wife for granted. I sometimes get so focused on everything else that's going on that I don't stop to appreciate how valuable, incredibly valuable that relationship is to me. But I did today because I practiced gratitude. So that is the path to instant riches. I wanted to share this. It was on my heart this morning. I hope that it's inspired you to practice the art and discipline of gratitude more if you can. Be a thankful person. Notice all the good things. I think there are always good things around us, no matter what kind of turmoil is going on. There are always things to be thankful for. So with that, I'm going to jump to the comments. And also let you know that if you're finding me for the first time, I do these lives every day, Monday through Friday. So if you got value from this and want more content from me, I would love to encourage you to subscribe to me on social media and/or visit my website here, paulhutchings.net/GIFTS. I have some cool free gifts that you can pick up that you might like, that you may be thankful for. I got a bunch of them, but one of them is a business that I started 6 years ago that has allowed me to just build an incredible life of prosperity and freedom, and in the process, do really good things in the world, experience great relationships. And this is a business that brings me a whole lot of happiness. And so you can check that out on paulhutchings.net/GFDS if you want freedom and good vibes only in that business. So that's it. I'm going to come to the comments here and say hi to everyone. Bill Fever says, God works in mysterious ways. I believe that is true. I love the line. I don't know where it comes from. I read it in a book somewhere. God works in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform. I like that line. Paula Walker says, God definitely does work in mysterious ways. Hey, all right, Paula Walker. Fist bump. We're in agreement on that. Thanks for dropping a comment below. Nick Romani says, it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to cut it off with people. Yep, so true. My wife and I just had to do that over the weekend. My wife and I have made it to a mission to walk away from folks who just don't see the bright side of things. There was always something to be grateful for. Good for you guys in making that decision. I think our own personal happiness is, it's important, And I don't know, it's like, how long do you put up with things and people that are making it hard for you to be happy? There's got to come a point where it's like, okay, enough is enough. I gotta go a different way. Bill Fever says, Sometimes you're put through the sifter and God helps you through these times and you see what you're thankful for and you're grateful and at peace. Yep, I think that's true. Thanks, Bill. Paula Walker says it's a blessing in disguise. I think that is so true. Paula Walker says you are such an inspiration. Oh, thank you so much, Paula. I appreciate that very much. And you inspire me too. I'm so glad to be kind of reconnecting with you here. I've seen you on a couple of, this will be the second live I think I've seen you on, and looking forward to hearing more from you and doing more good things in the world together. Nick Romani says, you always inspire me. Woohoo! Yay. So happy to hear that. That's part of the goal. Nick says, amen, brother. Great women who gave you the best gift ever, your beautiful children. Yep, absolutely. Veronique says, hi, Paul, a little late, but we were here from Belgium. Hi, Veronique. Thanks for tuning in. And Paula says, thanks for sharing. My pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. And Bill Fever says, Paul, love you, kid. Love your heart. Thank you, Bill. I love you too. I love your heart. You've got a great heart. You're a good man, Bill, and I love having you in my life. And you're one of those people that adds happiness and joy to my journey. So I want to say thank you to that. God brought me to you and Mike. I like to believe that. Thanks for sharing that. Greg Napier says, my wife is listening with me on your live, bro. And she said she loves how sensitive and transparent. Oh, thank her so much. Thank you so much for me. I appreciate that. And you guys are a great couple that I look to. Greg, I know you talk a lot about marriage and how to, create a successful marriage. And I think the world needs more of that. I think kids need more of that. I think, society needs more of long-term commitments. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's worth it. It's worth it to work on long-term things with long-term people over time. I think that's where some of the greatest rewards in life and business are found. So, all right, everyone. Well, thanks again. I appreciate all the interaction, and I will be back tomorrow for the next Good Parts episode. Get out there, take action, go for your dreams, and bye for now.